Today I'm making one of America's favorite soups. Cream of potato, mushroom, and ham. This soup has been around forever. This soup has fed families since the beginning of time. Hang on, I'll show you my version. Turn our fire on. Want this on to a medium to low heat to start with. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of lard, and let's start cutting up our vegetables. First vegetable we're going to put in is celery. Slice into pieces. You want to have all your ingredients lined up. You don't want to be searching around the kitchen for anything. Slide that aside. Next we're going to have 1 red onion. Next we're going to have 1/4 of a small red onion. Slice those up. We're going to have a sliver, about 1 ounce of green pepper. And you can use bell pepper, you can use red pepper, whichever you want. 2 mushrooms, 3 each mushrooms. How far is going? You want to throw in the aromatic vegetables first. Your green peppers, your celery, and your red onions. Mushrooms will have to wait because mushrooms release moisture. You don't want to steam your vegetables, you want to saute them at this point. Move the mushrooms over here. Next we're going to peel our potato. In 2, slide your knife through. Slide it up so it doesn't get stuck. Let this cook down. And I'm using lard, but you can use olive oil, canola oil, peanut oil, any good substantial oil. Lard I'm using because it gives it a good flavor and a good taste. 6 ounces of ham. On the ham, you want, for lack of better words, as rustic a ham as you can get. You don't want anything fine. You want something that's going to be cheap, going to be fatty, it's going to be full of flavor. All right, those are cooking down. Let's add in the mushrooms. We're going to add in 1 tablespoon of butter. And let this cook down. The smell so far is wonderful. The potatoes, you don't want to put them into a cold pan, you want to put them into a hot pan so they won't stick to the bottom of the release. Now we can throw these guys in. Potatoes going in. That's 1 medium potato. Our ham, we'll slice that up, and we're going to throw this in. 1 more piece, 6 ounces total of ham. Throw this around. So far, very easy. Let's turn and cook down. You want a good sear on the vegetables. Good taste. Next, we're going to put in 4 cups of water. So when you add the water, it makes a whole lot more quieter. Put in 1/2 teaspoon of seasoning salt, your choice. 1/2 tablespoon of granulated garlic, 1 tablespoon and a half of chicken base. Stir that up. Alright, our soup has been cooking for roughly 30 minutes. The potatoes are cooked, the ham is cooked. We're going to pull out the ham and we're going to thicken the soup up. Get all the ham out. Ham's out. Now we're going to take this and we're going to move over to a pan here. We're going to put another pan in and we're going to make a roux. The roux will go back in the soup here and thicken it up. So in the meantime, this is using lard again, by 1.5 tablespoons. Once again, you can use canola oil, olive oil, vegetable oil, anything you want to. This is just the way I'm doing it. This is what we have on hand right now. Once that cooks in, you want to add your flour. Probably about a tablespoon and a half. We'll mix it up in there and we'll let it seep down. Turn the flour down. A little more. You want the roux to be the consistency of mashed potatoes. You don't want them too thick. You want them a little thicker than that. Yeah. Took about 2 tablespoons. Let the roux cook over here. You want the flour taste to come out. You don't want to keep that in there. I might add a little more flour. Hang on, I'm going to get a little more flour. Add a little more flour. Want that good thick consistency in there. There you go. Looking good. A little bit more. I think that'll do it. Now we're going to add this by a ladle to thicken this soup back up. We want a good consistency and a good thickness in the soup, so we're going to add the soup broth, put it back in there. And as you put this in, it'll naturally thicken. Add this in. Turn this down a little bit more. That looks good. Now we're going to switch back out again. And we're going to put this in the soup to thicken it up. Bring it to a boil. Get a spatula and get all the goodness out. The soup thicken back up. Little lumps in there, but they'll break up as you stir it. Not a problem. We're going to add 1 cup of half and half. Bring this to a boil, higher heat. Cook this in there. This is going to be some good soup. Let this thicken up. Once it thickens up, we're going to add some shredded cheese in there. Bring this through the immersion blender. We'll give it a good consistency also. These are wonderful things to have. That's it. Now we're going to come back with some cheddar cheese. Told you it's going to be good. Told you it's going to be some good soup. Nice, good texture. Now what we're going to do, we're going to come back in with the ham. Put that in there. We're going to save a little bit for garnish. The ham will be the only thing with consistency in the soup. And you could have mixed the ham in there also if you wanted to, but we're doing it this way so it looks a little better. There you go. And this is our potato, ham, and mushroom soup. You want to check your soup to see how it is. Make sure it's got a good flavor. Correct your seasoning if it needed. We're going to try a little bite. It's going to be very hot, obviously. It's good, but it needs a little bit of seasoning salt. We're going to use Kinder's all-purpose seasoning in there. A few shakes, not a whole lot. About a tablespoon and a half, and we're going to add cracked black pepper. Once again, about a tablespoon and a half. Let's mix this up in here, and we'll give this another try. Good flavor though so far. Still hot, Be careful. That did it. That's perfect. Good consistency. You want soup. We're not making stew. So you don't want it too thick. You just want it to be thick enough. There you go. Well, that was a fun video. This stuff is really, really good. I hope you try some of this. As you see, I've got my habaneros on there. I floated 2 croutons. Let's give it a shot. That's very good. You'll love this if you try it. In the meantime, if you enjoy seeing meals like this, meals that can be put together fast, using household ingredients you have on hand, and inexpensively also on a budget, share the video, leave me a comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Real Food, Spend Less. Bye.